The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 300,614. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 7,000. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 1,561, with total confirmed deaths at 73. We expect those numbers to change as the county updates its last 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's 4 p.m. on Tuesday, October 27th. 2 firefighters are critically injured as they fight the Silverado fire near Irvine. The Orange County Fire Authority tweeted that its 2 hand crew members are both covered in second and third degree burns and intubated. They are 26 and 31 years old. In today's afternoon briefing, the OCFA fire chief shared that these 2 individuals remain in critical condition fighting for their lives with their families by their sides. They were among a total of 5 firefighters who were injured while battling the Silverado blaze. The 3 others had minor injuries and were treated at a hospital and released. The Silverado fire exploded in the Santa Ana Mountains around 6:45 Monday morning. It was initially reported at 10 acres, but has grown to 12,600 acres as of this afternoon. Windy conditions are partly to blame. The Weather Service recorded gusts up to 84 miles per hour in Fremont Canyon, about 6 miles away from the fire. Southern California Edison says its equipment may have sparked the blaze. It's investigating whether a lashing wire which connects a telecommunications line to a support cable may have struck a 12,000-volt conducting line above it. The powerful winds prompted power to be cut to hundreds of thousands of people across the state as a safety precaution. The 2 injured firefighters are among the now 750 firefighters that are working on site. Fire officials say 70,000 Irvine residents and 8,000 Lake Forest residents faced evacuation orders. Meanwhile, the Blue Ridge fire, which also started yesterday in Orange County, has now spread to 15,200 acres. A total of 1,800 firefighters, 14 helicopters, and additional fixed-wing aircrafts were on the scene. Election Day is just 1 week away, and Americans have cast more than 66 million early ballots so far. That's roughly half the total turnout in 2016. The U.S. Elections Project says many people are voting earlier and spreading out the workload for election officials. This is a relief for those who were concerned about conducting an election during a pandemic, where an overwhelming mass of mail-in ballots could be returned at the end of the early voting period. Some states are already approaching their total votes for 2016. Texas leads the way with almost 7.4 million early votes as of Sunday. That represents 82% of the state's total votes in 2016. Montana, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia also reached 65% or more of their totals from that year. Another interesting trend seen during this year's early voting is a surge in young voters. According to Tufts University, those ages 18 to 29 have skyrocketed, casting more than 5 million votes so far. 3 million of those voters are in 14 key states that could decide the presidency and the control of the U.S. Senate. Here in Torrance, there are a couple of different options to vote. The city has one official vote-by-mail drop box located outside its main library at 3301 Torrance Boulevard. And if you prefer to vote in person, vote centers in Torrance will be open for 5 days leading up to Election Day beginning on Friday. Katie Geisert Library Meeting Room, the George Nakano Theater, as well as the Ken Miller Recreation Center are 3 designated locations to serve as 5-day vote centers. They will be open from October 30th through November 2nd from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Election Day, November 3rd, from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. The Senate confirmed Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court yesterday with a 52-48 vote. This comes just about a week before Election Day and 30 days after she was nominated by President Donald Trump. Judge Barrett will fill the seat of the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. The White House held a ceremony following the vote last night, where Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas administered the constitutional oath to Barrett in front of an audience of about 200 people. Barrett told those gathered at the event that she believes it is the job of a judge to resist her policy preferences and that she will do her job without any fear or favor. President Trump also spoke at the event, calling it a momentous day for America, the Constitution, and the rule of law. Barrett's lifetime appointment as the 115th Justice begins today. Eli Lilly is ending its clinical trial of its antibody drug for COVID-19 patients after researchers concluded that it doesn't work. The study of the monoclonal antibody was initially halted earlier this month due to a safety concern. But on Monday, the National Institutes of Health, which sponsored the trial, found that the antibody is unlikely to help hospitalized COVID-19 patients to recover from the advanced stage of their disease. For this particular study, the therapy was used in combination with remdesivir, which is an antiviral with emergency use authorization for the coronavirus. Although this particular study is now discontinued, Eli Lilly's investment in the experimental therapy is expected to continue. Company officials say they remain confident that their antibody therapy may prevent progression of the disease for those who have earlier stages of COVID-19. Meanwhile, another pharmaceutical company is showing positive results from its COVID-19 vaccine candidate. AstraZeneca says its potential vaccine has produced a similar immune response in both older and younger adults. It also reported that negative responses to the vaccine among the elderly were also found to be lower. This is important because the World Health Organization has said that older people, as well as those with pre-existing medical conditions, appear to develop a serious illness when contracting the coronavirus more often than others. An AstraZeneca spokesperson says it's encouraging to see the results and adds that they further build evidence for the vaccine's safety and effectiveness. AstraZeneca's announcement is likely to boost hopes of a COVID vaccine being developed before the end of the year. The nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, said on Sunday that we will know whether a vaccine is safe and effective by the end of November or the beginning of December. He also said a vaccine that is deemed safe and effective would likely become available first to healthcare workers and others working in higher risk categories. He noted that it would be several months into 2021 before a vaccine becomes more widely available. To date, more than 43 million people have gotten the coronavirus worldwide, and more than 1.16 million people have died. The British pharmaceutical company is developing the potential COVID-19 vaccine in collaboration with the University of Oxford. California now has a group dedicated to reviewing the safety and efficacy of future COVID-19 vaccines. In today's afternoon briefing, Governor Gavin Newsom announced the newly formed Drafting Guidelines Work Group. The 16-member team is focused on the ethics of distribution. They will help determine the guidelines for how to allocate and prioritize vaccine supplies once they become available. Governor Newsom said California is leading the way on vaccine safety, equity, and transparency. He added that Nevada, Oregon, and Washington have formally joined the state's Scientific Safety Review Work Group. They are all preparing for the distribution of the vaccines and building trust with their residents to make sure that it happens quickly, efficiently, and safely. This work group consists of experts on immunizations and public health who are closely monitoring the vaccine trials. During the briefing, California Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Mark Ghaly also gave his weekly health update, including the current tier status. 9 counties are still in the most widespread purple tier, including LA County. A wind-blown dust and ash advisory is in effect through tonight. The South Coast Air Quality Management District says wind-blown ash is being produced from recent wildfire burn areas, and dust is also being generated from high winds blowing over dry soil and sand. The district adds that smoke from the Blue Ridge fire has caused unhealthy air quality in many parts of LA County. County health officials say it's difficult to tell where the ash or smoke from a fire will go or how winds will affect the level level of these particles in the air. They add that these conditions can be harmful to your health, even for those who are healthy, and especially for those who are older, very young, or have heart or lung diseases. The National Weather Service predicts wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour today, as well as blowing sand, dust, and ash. It also posted wind advisories and high wind and red flag warnings for these areas as well for parts of today. If you're in an area that is directly impacted by wind-blown dust, limit your exposure by staying inside with doors and windows closed and avoid vigorous physical activity. Here in Torrance, unsafe air quality continues to shut down some facilities and programs. The city's ambassador program, the Plunge, Sierra Golf Course, and Wilson Park Splash Pad are still closed due to ash and smoke from the Blue Ridge and Silverado fires. To keep track of all advisories and warnings in the Los Angeles area, you can check out weather.gov/LOX. The Disneyland Resort is making plans to open more of its property next month. The Disney Parks blog announced that beginning in November, there will be more dining and shopping options when the downtown Disney district extends to Buena Vista Street, which is located inside California Adventure. Recently, Disney opened up its backlot premiere shop at Stage 17, which is located inside the theme park as well. This news comes as Disney officials are still petitioning for the state to allow them to reopen fully. Disney announced laying off 28,000 theme park division workers in California and Florida last month. Visit Anaheim.org previously wrote that with 31,000 cast members, a Disneyland Resort was Orange County's largest employer and generated $8.5 billion for the Southern California economy. This afternoon, California Governor Gavin Newsom addressed a media question regarding this topic. He spoke with deep respect as a father of 4 young kids who understood their desire to be entertained by this brand and who also understood those who rightfully desire to get their jobs back and to return to some sense of normalcy. He said, quote, "Forgive me, but we as a state are going to be driven by data and science, and we're going to be driven by public health first." You may want to think twice about trick-or-treating this year. LA County public health officials are advising residents to stay safe during this year's Halloween by getting creative instead of taking part in traditional celebrations. They say that trick-or-treating and even trunk-or-treating are not safe during a pandemic. Public health officials strongly recommend that you not participate in activities where you could be in crowded spaces with non-household members or taking part in communal food handling because they could increase your risk for getting COVID-19. Carnivals, haunted houses, and parties are not permitted under the health officer order. Instead, officials say consider throwing a virtual party, taking a walk while socially distanced and properly masked, or driving around your neighborhood to look at decorated houses instead. Other suggestions include holding a scavenger hunt for your children at your home where they can find their treats, or attending a special Halloween drive-in movie. If you have COVID-friendly Halloween ideas, let us know. You can always email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. The Dodgers are 1 win away from securing the World Series. Dodgers clinched the win with a 4-2 victory Sunday night against the Tampa Bay Rays in Game 5. They are 1 win shy of their first World Series title since 1988. They'll head to Game 6 today at 5:08. LA County public health officials say, though, while we have a lot to celebrate, it's critical that we all take action to slow the spread. That means not participating in public celebrations of any kind. The county's update guidance allows members of up to 3 households to get together, but such gatherings must be held outdoors with face coverings and with physical distancing. It's the final week of a virtual girls empowerment conference in LA County. The county's Parks and Recreation Department is hosting the month-long free event. The annual tradition encourages girls ages 11 to 18 to believe in a life of possibilities by lifting up their confidence, exploring pathways to college, and building a vision for their future life goals. Throughout October, the girls had the opportunity to participate in free virtual book clubs and workshops. They also watched inspirational videos and live virtual panels featuring powerful speakers. Each week had its own theme, and this week it's all about the power of her and women in politics. There will also be gift card giveaways at each of the 3 live events this week, starting today in just a few minutes. To learn more about these free virtual sessions and to register, you can log on to parks.lacounty.gov/GEC2020. The City Council meets again tonight to conduct city business. A police officer and 2 police lieutenants will be retiring and honored for their decades of service. Senator Stephen Bradford, who serves the 35th State Senate District, including parts of Torrance, is expected to give a legislative update. Council members will review a resolution to approve grant funds for a Madrona Marsh vernal pool restoration project. They will also discuss implementing safety measures for the 2020 Seaside Rancho's Holiday Lights display. To view tonight's Council's agenda, you can go online to torranceca.gov. Tune in tonight at 7 p.m. right here on Citi Cable. The meeting will also stream online and on demand on YouTube. As we come off the heels of National Teen Driver Safety Week, the Torrance Police Department is asking parents to discuss the importance of safe driving habits with their teens. Officers want parents to get involved as their teens become newly licensed drivers so they can better understand the rules of the road. Police say parents play an important role in helping teens stay safe behind the wheels. The greatest risks for this age group are distracted driving, impairment, and speeding. Police encourage parents to go over the basics with their young drivers, such as wearing a seatbelt, staying off the phone, and following the speed limit. They say it's illegal for drivers under the age of 18 to use a phone or other electronic device for any reason, including hands-free devices. Police also say new drivers who are minors have to wait at least 1 year after getting their license to ride with a solo passenger who is younger than 20 years old. Late night driving is also not allowed. That means your teens will most likely have to stay home between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. Well, before we go at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community, feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Today, we want to introduce you to a brave little girl named Lila. She's celebrating her 5th birthday this week, but the days leading up to it was tough. Her mom, Sarah, posted on Instagram a few days ago that Lila checked into Torrance Memorial's pediatric department for a kidney infection. Although she was in pain, Lila smiled like a star in her new Disney gown donated by Starlight Children's Foundation. Many people showed their support on social media, and Lila was able to return home in time for a socially distanced Fairies for 5 birthday party. What a heartwarming story. Happy birthday, Lila. Now, if you have a great story to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as Rhiannon Truchanich brings you the latest updates. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.